My photo taste is the Pinterest because they are the best.
Keeping away from something, but here it's just saying keep away from.
Avoid.
Avoid, yeah, exactly. So avoid homes with chickens.
And I use that phrase sometimes because I love cakes. I have a very sweet tooth. I like to go into cake shops and buy a nice big creamy cake.
Yeah.
So I try and avoid them. I steer clear of cake shops. Otherwise, I'm kind of drawn in.
Yeah.
And have to buy a cake and eat it. And obviously I get very fat. So I steer clear of certain types of shops.
Yep, you should steer clear of sugar and cakes.
Indeed. So that's a good expression. Right, thanks very much. Well, let's find out a little bit more about this story, shall we, from an expert. This is Professor Habti Teki from Addis Ababa University.
They feed on humans and other domestic animals, but not on chicken. Because the mosquito antennae did not respond. Person sleeping under untreated bed nets inside the house, the light trap attached to the chicken didn't catch the malaria mosquitoes, while the light trap in which human beings slept overnight collected quite a significant number of malaria mosquitoes.
Interesting research, and I think the message is, if you're going away on holiday and you're worried about getting bitten by a mosquito, take a live chicken with you.
Are you taking a live chicken on holiday in a few weeks, Rob?
Well, the problem is I can't squeeze a chicken into my suitcase,
Yeah,
so it's a bit tricky.
Or your tent.
Yes, in
your
my tent.
family might not approve.
It would be very interesting, wouldn't it?
I could do with a live chicken, though. Mosquitoes love me.
Good, right. Let's talk about our Facebook challenge now, shall we? And we've been asking people on Facebook, which of these is not a real expression? A, chickens might fly. B, don't count your chickens before they hatch. Or C, he's running around like a headless chicken. What have people been saying, Sean?
Lots of interesting responses. Aziz has the correct answer. He says chickens might fly is not an expression. The real expression is pigs might fly. So when you don't think something will happen, you can say pigs might fly. I like the response from Hussam. He says, your question came at the right time because today my colleagues are running around like headless chickens.
Aha, that sounds like us today.
Exactly. So if you run around like a headless chicken, you're panicking. But yeah, we're like headless chickens today, aren't we, Rob?
Yeah, indeed we are. Okay, well, it's almost time for us to go back and run around like a headless chicken. But
Yes.
before we do, could you just remind us of the words and phrases we've discussed today?
Okay, so we had repel, which means to keep something or someone away. A pun, which is a funny way of using a word so that more than one meaning is suggested. And to steer clear of, which means to avoid something or someone.
Okay, and if you want to test your understanding of these words, why not go to our website at bbclearningenglish.com? Well, that brings us to the end of News Review for today. Thank you very much, Sean.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
News Review from BBC Learning English. News Review from BBC Learning English.
Hello and welcome.
Yes, we have plenty in stock. They're £4 per unit. They are good quality ones.
The company in France that Anna called earlier has called her back. Let's hope they're making an order.
Laser technology isn't cheap. I see. Well, thanks for calling back. Bye.
Everything okay, Anna?
Not really. One of the companies I called has rung back.
Good.
But they don't want to place an order. They say we're too expensive.
So you let them go? Didn't you negotiate with them?
Oh, was I meant to? I wasn't sure what to say.
Having trouble, Anna? Don't worry, I'm sure that I can help. Negotiating is my thing.
Negotiating is my thing? What is he like? Mind you, he has won a Pear Salesman of the Year award, so he must be doing something right.
Are you sure, Tom? Don't you want to negotiate your own deals?
I owe you one, Anna, after you saved my bacon with Mr. Socrates the other night. And besides, you and me...
Come on, you two. Get a move on. Europe is waiting for us. Custard cream, anyone?
No, thanks. Right. You need to call that French company back and ask them what kind of price they're willing to pay.
And then say, that's fine?
No! Negotiate. Say, I don't think we can go that low.
I don't think we can go that low.
If they want a bigger discount, tell them they will have to buy more stock.
More stock, bigger discount.
Yeah. And if you still can't agree a price, tell them I'll meet you halfway.
Meet halfway? That means going to Paris.
No, halfway on the price. That line always works for me. I sold a load of plastic pears that way once.
So that's I'll meet you halfway. Thanks, Tom. I'm really impressed. You...
Am I? Really?
What? I was going to say, you really do know your stuff, despite what other people say.
What,
Right, I'm off to make that call right now.
Good luck, Anna, and well done, Tom. Nice to hear him give some useful advice, but will it work? Let's remind ourselves of the phrases he suggested Anna uses when negotiating a sale.
What kind of price are you willing to pay? I don't think we can go that low. If you buy more stock, I can offer you a bigger discount. I'll meet you halfway.
Let's see how Anna has got on.
Success! They've agreed to buy 5,000 Imperial lemons.
Ah, brilliant! I knew you would be great. Did those killer lines of mine work?
Sort of. But when I said what price were they looking to pay, they said the full price. As long as I send them the contract today, so I'd better go and get an envelope and post it as soon as I can.
Oh, great.
Tom, can you come over here to the stationery cupboard and get an envelope from the top shelf for me?
Yeah, I suppose so. I'm coming. Oh.
Oh, Tom, why did you do that? It won't open. It's locked. Help! Help!
Help!
Uh-oh. This should be interesting. How are they going to explain being locked in the stationery cupboard?
Let us out!
Until next time, bye!
Let us out, we're stuck!
My photo taste is the Pinterest because they are the best. Flick to link, link to flick.
In 1987, Tina Lord found herself in quite the pickle. See, this gold digger made sure she married sweet Cord Roberts just before he inherited millions. But when Cord found out Tina loved his money as much as she loved him, he dumped her. Cord's mother, Maria, was thrilled until they hooked up again. So Maria hired Max Holden to romance Tina and then made sure Cord didn't find out Tina was pregnant with his baby. So Tina, still married but thinking Cord didn't love her, flew to Argentina with Max. Cord finally figured out what was going on and rushed after them, but he was too late. Tina had already been kidnapped, strapped to a raft, and sent over a waterfall. She and her baby were presumed dead. Cord was sad for a bit, but then he bounced right back with a super smart archaeologist named Kate, and they had a gorgeous wedding until Tina, seemingly back from the dead, ran into the church holding a baby. "Stop!" she screamed. "Am I too late? Cord, I've come so far. This is your son." And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how the soap opera One Life to Live introduced a love story that lasted 25 years. Now, if you've ever seen a soap opera, you know the stories and the characters can be exaggerated, larger than life. And if you're a fan, you find that exaggeration fun. And if you're not, Maybe you find them melodramatic or unsophisticated. Maybe you think watching soap operas is a waste of time, that their bigness means their lessons are small or non-existent. But I believe the opposite to be true. Soap operas reflect life, just bigger. So there are real-life lessons we can learn from soap operas, and those lessons are as big and adventurous as any soap opera storyline. Now, I've been a fan since I ran home from the bus stop in 2nd grade, desperate to catch the end of Luke and Laura's wedding, the biggest moment in General Hospital's history. So you can imagine how much I loved my 8 years as the assistant casting director on As the World Turns. My job was watching soap operas, reading soap opera scripts, and auditioning actors to be on soap operas. So I know my stuff. And yes, soap operas are larger than life, drama on a grand scale, but our lives can be filled with as much intensity, and the stakes can feel just as dramatic. We cycle through tragedy and joy just like these characters. We cross thresholds, fight demons, and find salvation unexpectedly, and we do it again and again and again. But just like soaps, we can flip the script, which means we can learn from these characters that move like bumblebees, looping and swerving through life. And we can use those lessons to craft our own life stories. Soap operas teach us to push away doubt and believe in our capacity for bravery, vulnerability, adaptability, and resilience. And most importantly, they show us it's never too late to change your story. So with that, let's start with soap opera lesson 1. Surrender is not an option. All My Children's Erica Kane was Daytime's version of Scarlett O'Hara, a hyperbolically self-important princess who deep down was scrappy and daring. Now, in her 41 years on TV, perhaps Erica's most famous scene is her alone in the woods, suddenly face to face with a grizzly bear. She screamed at the bear, "You may not do this! Do you understand me? You may not come near me! I am Erica Kane, and you are a filthy beast." And of course, the bear left. So what that teaches us is obstacles are to be expected, and we can choose to surrender, or we can stand and fight. Pandora's Tim Westergren knows this better than most. You might even call him the Erica Kane of Silicon Valley. Tim and his co-founders launched the company with $2 million in funding. They were out of cash the next year. Now, lots of companies fold at that point, but Tim chose to fight. He maxed out 11 credit cards and racked up 6 figures in personal debt, and it still wasn't enough. So every 2 weeks for 2 years on payday, he stood in front of his employees and he asked them to sacrifice their salaries. And it worked. More than 50 people deferred $2 million, and now, more than a decade later, Pandora is worth billions. When you believe that there is a way around or through whatever is in front of you, that surrender is not an option, you can overcome enormous obstacles. Which brings us to soap opera lesson 2, sacrifice your ego and drop the superiority complex. Now, this is scary. It's an acknowledgement of need or fallibility. Maybe it's even an admission that we're not as special as we might like to think. Stephanie Forrester of The Bold and the Beautiful thought she was pretty darn special. She thought she was so special she didn't need to mix with the riffraff from the Valley, and she made sure Valley girl Brooke knew it. But after nearly 25 years of epic fighting, Stephanie got sick and let Brooke in. They made amends, arch enemies became soulmates, and Stephanie died in Brooke's arms. And here's our takeaway. Drop your ego. Life is not about you. It's about us. And our ability to experience joy and love and to improve our reality comes only when we make ourselves vulnerable and we accept responsibility for our actions and our inactions, kind of like Howard Schultz, the CEO of Starbucks. Now, after a great run as CEO, Howard stepped down in 2000, and Starbucks quickly overextended itself and stock prices fell. Howard rejoined the team in 2008, and one of the first things he did was apologize to all 180,000 employees. He apologized. And then he asked for help, honesty, and ideas in return. And now, Starbucks has more than doubled its net revenue since Howard came back.
Flick to link. Link to flick. My photo taste is the Pinterest because they are the best.
Keeping away from something, but here it's